The only Christopher we acknowledge is Wallace. It's a show at Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn's own gallery, the Bishop on Bedford. This exhibit, given homage to the late, great Christopher Wallace, aka Biggie, Notorious B.I.G., Biggie Smalls, you get the point, is a 20th anniversary tribute to the release of the rapper's seminal album, Ready to Die. The entire place is outfitted in honor of Biggie, from painted skateboards to extra-large paintings of Biggie participating in joyous activities. Most artists dwelled on the rapper's highly recognizable visage. It's the manner in how each artist portrayed him that makes each work unique. And this art chat will give you a quick and brief walkthrough of the space. Take this domino table, for example. The image is made up of the words to the 10 Crack Commandments, while also paying instant homage to Biggie's Jamaican and Brooklyn heritage. Rule number 2, never let him know your next move. His album's cover's usage of the baby photo is picked up in the baby image used in each of the cup holders, that also doubles as imagery of a vinyl record. Another interesting way to display Biggie's image was on the New York City subway map. Art like this has become more popular in sidewalk sales in recent years. Michael Hop's art Womble makes his mark, though, by utilizing a subtle collage effect and also by tagging the map in almost the same manner that a New York City train car would have been tagged in the 80s or 90s. The lyric and song titles across the map situate Biggie in the setting of his story raps. He's a Brooklyn boy, made up of all the parts, good and bad, of the city that created him. The face is the predominant image throughout the entire exhibit. There is Biggie constructed of record albums, Baby Biggie, and yes, the subway even comes up again as MetroCard Biggie. A piece created by Kwasim, courtesy of Vinnie Styles, the clothing store, uses denim, felt, and mink on tapestry. I mean, is there any other way to honor a man who put those in NY onto DKNY? One distinguishing image of Biggie creates a fuller-sized image of the late rapper. He is fully garbed in military regalia. There is a serious Haile Selassie and Marcus Garvey vibe going on here. And while rappers have often been portrayed as American mob royalty, there has been little tying them back to the rich legacies across the African diaspora. While Kehinde Wiley's work does a great job of reposturing people across the globe, Jules Arthur does a great job in this piece of tapping into his subject's own historical legacies. Other ways that the artists set themselves apart were in how they constructed the face. Quentin Snagg's version is a distinguished, debonair, and determined construction of the rapper. The hat, coat, and chain all point to a signature style, and the distinctive facial expressions cause you to ponder what both artists, Snag and Biggie, were thinking. What's even cooler? This piece is all pen dots. The same instrument that Biggie probably took to write down his rhymes was also used to recreate his image. There's some symbolism buried in there somewhere. Go find it. All this focus on the image leaves Biggie as a lonely subject throughout the exhibition. In each piece, he is seemingly alone, thinking and brooding, but without companionship. Yet his lyrics painted a much more colorful life. Shamika Marson, one of the few female artists in the exhibit, paints a picture using the lyrics, steak, cheese, eggs, and Welch's grapes. Now, if you know the rest, you know that he was definitely not alone all the time. The rest of her installation shows a call for Brooklyn to stand up. So community is involved, even if the subject is only seen as a solitary figure. Which brings me to the last image we will discuss. In a far corner on the exhibit, a table and mounted image united by a mosaic theme stood alone. It also stood apart because there was no face. Rather, this symbolic tribute to a quote-unquote king of sorts elicited other positive cultural attributes associated with Biggie. It wasn't just the wit and stories or the relationships with Faith Evans, Lil' Kim, and Sean Combs that set him apart. Even throughout the torrid images he paints in some of his lyrics, there was something that still drew you in, a certain charisma. You have to consider the flashy ways that he overtook the culture with. And he paved the way for the shiny suit era of rap to be acceptable, not just cheesy. It was the singular Brooklyn style, epitomized by colorful Coogee sweaters and oversized glasses, that showed an overweight, dark-skinned brother celebrating life. And if that's not something to celebrate, then what is? This celebration at the Bishop was all good. May Christopher Wallace continue to rest in prose.